what we want to do is actually come together to work through the legislation with drafters on their side, drafters on our side, and talk through the points we can agree on, figure out the ones we can't agree on, and find out where we can meet in the middle on.
South Carolina law enforcement leaders are pushing back now on a proposed bill that would make sweeping changes to civil forfeiture laws.
Right now in South Carolina, local law enforcement agencies have the power to seize assets from people who are suspected of crimes, even if they haven't been charged.
They can then use the money they seize for equipment and training. Greenville Police Chief Ken Miller went to Columbia today to speak to the lawmakers there about proposed changes. 7 News reporter Ann Maxwell caught up with him today, and she's here at 7 on Main. Ann?
Amy, Tom, Chief Miller spoke on behalf of 246 police chiefs for the South Carolina Police Chiefs Association. He told me that there are some things he likes about the proposed bill, which has broad bipartisan support, but he's afraid there are parts of it that could diminish local law enforcement's funding.
Civil forfeiture gives police and deputies the right to seize property they believe may be involved in a crime, even if the suspect is never convicted. South Carolina lawmakers want to change that. Dozens of members of the State House of Representatives have co-sponsored a bill that would abolish civil forfeiture.
I want to make sure that innocent people don't have their property taken away from them.
Right now, a person accused of a crime is responsible for proving their cash or car or house wasn't used in criminal activity. The proposed bill would require the government to prove someone broke the law to seize their property.
This bill would eliminate property being taken when there's no crime, there's no nexus to the property that's taken.
Greenville Police Chief Ken Miller says he supports that part of the bill.
It's very clear that there's an element of unfairness in that for people who are defendants in those cases. So we agree there.
According to the Greenville Police Department, officers have used civil forfeiture to seize more than $458,000 in 125 seizures over the past 5 years. That money goes back into the police force. The proposed bill would take money seized in criminal forfeitures and send it to the state's general fund.
If the money goes to the state, the money's not coming back locally.
Spartanburg State Representative Rosalind Henderson Myers, who is one of several upstate co-sponsors of the bill, says she doesn't believe law enforcement's funding should be dependent upon forfeitures.
It should come from the local governing authorities to fund the needs of the police department.
Henderson Myers says she believes the bill will go to the floor for a vote sometime in the week after next.
And you talked about bipartisan support. Does this bill have a really good chance of passing?
It is expected to pass, from what I understand. At one point, there were 93 co-sponsors of this bill, and that's out of 120-something representatives.
That's a lot of people buying in. Ann, thank you.